Hey, how's it going, guys? Ominous Pebble here, and if you haven't already noticed, this is Dark Souls 2. A fair warning to anybody who hasn't played Dark Souls 2, because at the moment in time it is still fairly new, maybe a month old. Um, I'm going to be showcasing a lot of different new areas, some of them which are pretty late game, so if you'd rather not watch it at another time after you've already experienced the game for yourself, by all means, go ahead and click away from this video now. Now that we have that out of the way, I am, as you can see, in the blue Sentinel Covenant, and I am using my Faith character. Faith in this game is extremely viable now, but there aren't too many attacking spells, as opposed to maybe say sorcery or hexes. But that's all right. I mean, we make do with what we have, and as you can see, I'm going against a real big turtler. In Dark Souls 1, Havel the Knight wasn't as cautious as this guy is, but that's all right. They did implement a new kick system in Dark Souls 2, which is a guard break, but it's much more trouble than it would seem. I barely survived with barely any health. I think it was maybe 20 HP, or maybe a little less. I think that guy actually sent me some rage mail after that. But that's Dark Souls. Here I'm going to be showing you my stats. I'm soul level 100, and the reason for that is because no longer does your level affect whom you invade. It's not dependent on something called soul memory. But this is my character, and he's not the strongest, but he can pack a punch at times. I think in this invasion we have a very strange encounter. One of the strangest encounters I've witnessed in all of my Dark Souls gameplay, and you'll see for yourself. I like to be very cautious. Maybe get a sneak move on the enemy, but sometimes they like to linger around their safe zone. But here comes the enemy now. Something about fist weapons has intrigued a lot of people in this game. I mean, I don't know if they're viable necessarily because they don't do too much damage. The stunning potential on them is insane. They, I have not too much poise, so I can't really defend against a poison cestus wielding moth. But it gets to be ridiculous at times. The stunning in this game. You think that if changed something with the stun locks in Dark Souls 1 and everyone having to resort to using a glitch to get out of it, but it would seem that they focused mainly on PvE, which the PvE is phenomenal, and PvP I'm having a blast as well, but it just seems a bit more difficult to have legitimate fights as opposed to having one-sided fights where one opponent stun locks the other to death. And being the no poise or low poise character that I am in this particular video, it's particularly hard for me to in any way fend off someone with, say, two swords. The Blue Covenant is extremely strange in this game. Well, not strange, but very difficult to pile up invasions in. Whereas if you were in the Blood Servant Covenant, where you can invade as a Dark Wraith, you can get invasions non-stop from the Cracked Red Eye, because you'd invade anybody. But with the Blue Servants, it's much more difficult because the person you invade has to have had sinned in the past. or in the present, and they have to have a certain sin level in order for you to invade them. And when you win in a Blue Servant Covenant and in any covenant, they've really lowered the amount of souls you get, which is kind of shocking. I mean, I thought it was fine before, but they changed the amount of souls you get. I mean, before I used to get 30, 20,000 souls for a kill, and now I get, if I'm lucky, like 6,000 souls, 4,000 souls, which is really like unencouraging to people who want to play PvP, maybe for the soul aspect or for the item they get. But you don't get an item anymore. You just kill them, and that's about it. Which it kind of takes away the like the gain aspect of it. I mean, what's the point of doing something if you're not going to gain anything out of it? And now there aren't any more whole eye orbs, only fragments, the cracked red eye and the cracked blue eye, for example. And it's strange that they expect us to have to farm for them or duel for them. I mean, it just seems really monotonous and tedious. And sure, if you go to NG Plus, you can get an infinite amount, but just having to go and buy some more and buy some more just seems extremely frivolous and quite annoying. Me personally, as you can see, I only have a few left, and these are the only ones I could farm in the allotted time that I had. So getting them just seems to be really difficult. But other than that, I do really love this game. It's shockingly better, in my opinion, than the first Dark Souls. Um, PvE and PvP wise. In PvP in Dark Souls 1, it just seemed a little too floaty and too restricted and tight for me. And now that it's loosened up a little more, I mean, I seem to enjoy it quite more than when I did the first game. Here's another example of the Cestus builders that I spoke of before. And you'll see soon that he'll stun me for quite an amount of hits. So that was like 7 hits consecutively, and although they didn't do much damage, each hit piled up like that, stacked, it does quite an amount of damage. It's a bit silly, to be honest. I wonder if they're going to make a bug, a patch out of that, because, it does seem to be a bit ridiculous at times, just how many times you get hit. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you panic in Dark Souls 2. GG. But as I was saying, yeah, this game, it looks amazing. It feels amazing, and lore-wise, it is great as well. Whereas some people are PvE aficionados and some people are PvP. I'm more of in the middle. I enjoy both, and I'm into the lore, and I'm also into PvP. So I won't only be posting PvP videos. I will also be posting boss fight, perhaps tutorials, or maybe a walkthrough at some point. The ring I just put on, the Ring of Whispers, allows you to hear enemies that are nearby you, whether it be an NPC, or an AI, or it be an actual player. And that's the reason I put it on here, because it's very foggy in this area, and it's extremely difficult to see in front of you. And I don't know where he's hiding, and I don't want him to sneak up on me, so this ring is actually extremely viable if you're looking for someone, or you're looking not to get caught from behind or from above or from below. And as you can see, I have found our enemy. The sunlight spear seems to me, is extremely overpowered in this game. I have 40 faith and the Ring of the Sun on, and I'm able to one-shot quite a number of people with, say, Havel's armor on and shield up, and I'm still able to deal massive amounts of damage, which is good because a lot of the miracles are weak, but can also be seen as noobish. But in this covenant, the way I see it is, I'm here for one sole purpose, and that's to kill the host because they have sinned. And I get a lot of hate mail like saying, wow, you're a noob, you suck, you killed me one hit, or all you did was like use the enemies in my environment to kill me. And although that is true, I did use the enemies in the environment, and it was a one-hit kill or two-hit kill. The way I see it is, that is the price for having sinned. People try to add morality and ethics to a video game, to Dark Souls 2, and it just is a bit silly to me. At the end of the game, at the end of the day, it is still a video game. To add any sort of justifications to morality and ethics in this game is just a bit silly. See, he healed. I'm not gonna crucify him for it. That's why. Heal because you're dying and you don't want to die. And I can completely understand that. Now, unless it's some sort of duel, and where there are pre-established rules by both participators, then, I mean, I understand that, but this is just some random invasion where my sole purpose is to kill the sinner. And that is what I did. Well, this is beginning to wrap up. This is not going to be my last video. This is not going to be at all the last video that I'm going to post. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos that are in the make at the moment, that this video gets posted onto YouTube. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to favorite, like, or even dislike if you didn't like the commentary. I am quite new at this, so I do understand that it's a bit silly if you have to sit there and listen to me. But I will be making walkthroughs, tutorials, I will be making more PvP commentaries, tons of stuff, not only for Dark Souls 2, but I see myself doing it for other games as well. So stay tuned, and maybe you'll find something you like. So like I said before, like, favorite, subscribe, and have a good day.